What is happening there? Gamer Dude here, and I'm going to be talking about Sentoi in Hakkenshimasu, or Combatants Will Be Dispatched, which is based off of a manga of the exact same name, and was also written by the guy who wrote Konosuba. So, without giving too many thoughts away, you can kind of see a lot of very similar sort of writing and comedy bits and pieces between the two. So if you like one, you're probably gonna like the other, albeit that it's in more of a sci-fi situation instead. So let's just kind of jump into actually talking about the show itself. But the opening and ending themes, so to start off with, the opening theme I just kind of skipped every single time. Like, it started okay, but it just kind of started getting annoying after a little while. The ending theme, on the other hand, I never skipped at all. I think maybe for the first episode, but then after that I kept re-listening to the ending theme every single time I finished an episode. So that was definitely something that I did not skip. So yeah, ending theme, skippable, opening theme, skippable, ending theme, listen to every single time. As for the show itself, you follow the main character, Sentoi in Rokugo, and Aris. So the two main characters that were decided by a random dice roll to be like who from this evil corporation that goes by the name Kisaragi, and they kind of have their own little corporate structure and everything. And so from a single dice roll, number 6 is decided that he's going to go and take over this land that these other characters have found. And we don't see them very often, except for maybe like during the preview of the next episode, where like it feels like whatever happened during that episode is kind of sent back to them from Rokugo as a report almost. So I thought that was actually kind of clever in terms of delivery. But so he is to go to the sort of fantasy world and pretty much, make everyone his slave, because he's like, part of this evil corporation that is going around doing evil things and all of that sort of stuff. And that's kind of fun to think about, because he does come off as like a good guy sometimes, and then there comes therein lies actually the parody of like he is meant to be from an evil organization, but is kind of treated as like the good guy, and he kind of acts like a good guy, and then you kind of have these other characters that are pretty much a mismatched bunch of weirdos that have to work together to just do stuff. And that's kind of where the Konosuba elements really start to kick in. Is it has significantly more fan service than Konosuba, but therein lies the similarities, whereby you have two groups of individuals that feel like they don't belong together and probably argue more than actually get along. But ultimately, they kind of still are a net benefit to each other at the end of the day. So it's just a bunch of weirdos doing a bunch of stuff, none of it which makes any real amount of sense, and just going off on one during every single episode. So I feel like that's kind of the way to explain it, but I'm pretty sure there's like a better way of doing that. All in all, while it is a fun time, it is inferior to Konosuba in every sense of the word, because Konosuba was a great parody of isekai and everything that it has going for it. Sentoi in Hakkenshimasu is instead a just shallow copy with some minor adjustments. Like, I feel like that's kind of just what it feels like. It just feels like a hollow copy that has some elements going for it in terms of like the sci-fi and just, in fact, you know what? You kind of also go back, and when you think about it, there is also like a demon lord and some other things going on. So it just kind of, it's hard to talk about in specific detail without going into spoilers. But even then, I don't feel like there's spoilers, because again, it's very much going on an episodic basis with some small underlying throughput between each episode. It just seems okay overall compared to like, say, how great Konosuba is and how funny and how clever the writing can be, and just how much more entertaining the characters are when they interact with each other. And yet even then, this show just seems like a lesser version, but not by that much. So I think all in all, because like honestly, I gave Konosuba for the most part like an 8 out of 10. This does squarely fall into like more of like a 7 out of 10. It's getting there, but it isn't quite there yet. And yet the similarities between both of the series are very apparent when you look at it. So yeah, I feel like you just can't help but compare the two. So I feel like this has been more of like a how to compare two different pieces of work from the exact same person, and then being like, here are a couple of similarities, and then you realize it largely feels the same, or something along those lines. But yeah, I feel like I'm just going on and on about this, so I'm probably just going to leave it at that, because I feel like there's not really much to talk about beyond the opening theme being skippable, ending theme being something worth listening to, and that the show itself is just a carbon copy of Konosuba, albeit not as well done, with a sci-fi corporate theme where the main guy is actually like a bad guy but can act like a good guy, and tries to make everyone his slave in order to go up the corporate stranglehold of the corporation of Kisaragi, essentially. So with all that said and done, yeah, I think that this certainly is very much a 7 out of 10 show, which I'm going to be putting it in my Mal. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the show. If you watched it, what are your thoughts? Chuck them into the comments below. Like the video if you like the show, like this video, or anything else in between. And of course, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 100 subs by the end of the year, and I'm slowly getting there. It's looking pretty tight at the moment, but hopefully with your help that'll happen. Yeah, so please subscribe to the channel. My videos will go out to more people as a result, which will be definitely much appreciated. And with all that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.